it off of me.
Get what off?
An idea planted in the mind. I know this place will blossom into a whole new reality. You can wake up now.
The story of Hypnotic 2021 is a chilling exploration of psychological manipulation, trauma, and the blurred lines between reality and suggestion. It begins with Jenn, a woman adrift in the aftermath of personal tragedy. Her engagement to Brian has ended and she's reeling from a miscarriage, isolating herself from her once vibrant life. Her sister Gina acts as a catalyst, urging Jenn to seek therapy, which leads her to the enigmatic Dr. Colin Mead. Mead presents himself as a professional hypnotherapist, offering a path to healing for those struggling with trauma. Jenn, desperate for a reprieve from her pain, agrees to his sessions. The initial stages of her therapy feel promising, a gentle unraveling of her grief under Mead's soothing voice. However, the true horror of Mead's methods soon begins to surface, slowly. At first, then, with increasing intensity, the first major red flag appears after one of her sessions. Jenn finds herself disoriented, waking up in her own home with no memory of how she got there. The alarming discovery of Brian in anaphylactic shock, a reaction to sesame oil, deepens her unease. Jenn is certain she wouldn't have cooked with something so dangerous to Brian, and her memory gaps point to something sinister. This incident serves as the story's initial inciting incident, pushing Jenn from a state of passive acceptance to active suspicion. Her growing unease leads her to Detective Wade Rollins. Rollins is initially skeptical, having likely seen many people struggling with mental health issues. However, Jenn's persistent and coherent account, despite her fractured memories, compels him to look into Dr. Mead. Their investigation uncovers a horrifying pattern. Mead's previous patients have met untimely and bizarre ends, often linked to their phobias. The opening scene, depicting Andrea's death due to a claustrophobic hallucination, retrospectively gains chilling significance, establishing Mead's modus operandi early on. The narrative intensifies with the tragic death of Jenn's sister, Gina. Despite Jenn's frantic warnings, Gina succumbs to Mead's manipulative charm and agrees to hypnosis. Mead exploits Gina's arachnophobia, triggering a hallucination that causes a fatal car crash. This event is a turning point, solidifying Rollins' commitment to the case and escalating the personal stakes for Jenn. The loss of her sister fuels Jenn's determination to expose Mead and free herself from his subtle, pervasive control. As Jenn delves deeper, she discovers the insidious nature of Mead's post-hypnotic suggestions. He's not just helping patients. He is planting commands, transforming them into unwitting puppets. Jenn realizes she was made to buy the sesame oil for Brian, a horrifying demonstration of how easily her autonomy can be overridden. She tries to fight back, recording a session with Mead, hoping to catch him. The recording, while confirming his awareness of Andrea's death and Jenn's suspicions, also reveals the depth of his psychological manipulation. Mead's true identity is slowly unveiled. He is Julian Sullivan, the son of Dr. Xavier Sullivan, a man deeply involved in government mind control experiments like MK Ultra. This backstory provides a disturbing context for Julian's extraordinary abilities and twisted motivations. He's not just a rogue therapist. He's inherited a legacy of psychological warfare. Jenn's desperation leads her to Dr. Stella Graham, a police hypnotist. Dr. Graham represents a beacon of hope, a counterforce to Mead's dark influence. However, Mead's brilliance and manipulation is further revealed when Dr. Graham discovers a failsafe within Jenn's mind, a protective layer Mead installed to prevent anyone from undoing his work. This adds another layer of complexity to Jenn's struggle, highlighting the formidable nature of her adversary. Undeterred, Dr. Graham devises a clever counter-strategy, a post-hypnotic suggestion that will activate if Mead ever utters the phrase, "My love." This becomes Jenn's last line of defense, a seemingly innocuous phrase imbued with the power to shatter Mead's control. Fragmented memory of an address and the name Dr. Xavier Sullivan drives Jenn to a secluded house. There, she discovers a photo of Mead with his deceased wife, Amy, who is Jenn's spitting image. This shocking revelation uncovers Mead's primary motivation. He's been seeking out women who resemble Amy, attempting to recreate her through hypnotic suggestion, implanting false memories of their life together. Jenn's romantic dreams were merely enacted scenarios under Mead's control, a horrifying realization that her entire recent perception of reality has been a construct. Mead confronts Jenn at the house, confirming his identity as Julian Sullivan and his chilling purpose. He then forces her into a deeper trance, setting the stage for his final, perverse act of proposing to her, believing he has finally recreated his lost love. Meanwhile, Rollins, through forensic investigation, confirms Julian Sullivan's identity and races to the secluded house. A brutal confrontation ensues between Rollins and Mead. In the chaos, Jenn, still partially under Mead's spell, seemingly manages to get a gun and shoot him. However, the film delivers a powerful and disorienting twist. Jenn wakes up to find Rollins comforting her, uttering the phrase, "my love." The counter trigger activates and the entire illusion shatters. The Rollins she sees is actually Mead. The shooting she thought she performed was another one of Mead's hypnotic constructs. This moment is the climax of Jenn's psychological battle, as her mind finally breaks free from the intricate web of deceit. With her senses fully restored, Jenn is able to distinguish reality from illusion. She sees the real Rollins wounded and understands his whispered instruction to retrieve the second gun from his ankle holster. In a final, desperate act of self-preservation and revenge, Jenn uses the retrieved weapon to truly kill Julian Sullivan. The story of Hypnotic is a terrifying cautionary tale about the vulnerability of the mind and the lengths to which a disturbed individual can go when armed with powerful psychological tools. It's a journey of a woman from victim to survivor, forcing her to question the very fabric of her reality and ultimately reclaim her own mind. The ending leaves the audience shaken, pondering the insidious nature of mind control and the fragility of perceived truth. Movies Custom Gem given the request. I will provide summaries, narration, and YouTube content for two films titled Hypnotic. There are two prominent films with this title that often cause confusion. One from 2021, a psychological thriller starring Kate Siegel, and another from 2023, a sci-fi thriller starring Ben Affleck. I will address both to ensure comprehensive coverage. Hypnotic, 2021, starring Kate Siegel, 2000. Word summary, plot summary, Hypnotic, 2021. Directed by Matt Angel and Suzanne Coote, is a psychological thriller that delves into the terrifying consequences of hypnotic suggestion when it falls into the wrong hands. The film centers on Jenn, a young woman grappling with profound personal trauma. We learn early on that Jenn has recently suffered a devastating miscarriage and subsequently ended her engagement to Brian, retreating into herself and giving up her promising career as a software engineer. Her sister Gina, concerned about Jenn's well-being, encourages her to seek help. This leads Jenn to Dr. Colin Mead, a seemingly charismatic and reputable hypnotherapist who promises to help his patients overcome their deepest fears and traumas through his unique hypnotic techniques. Jenn, desperate for a way to move past her grief and reconnect with her life, decides to try his unconventional therapy. Her initial sessions with Dr. Mead appear to be beneficial, and she feels a sense of relief and progress. However, this sense of normalcy is quickly shattered by unsettling incidents that follow her sessions. One day, after a hypnosis appointment, Jenn finds herself in a grocery store parking lot with no memory of how she got there. She then receives a peculiar phone call, the voice on the other end sounding vaguely like Dr. Mead. What follows is truly horrific. She blacks out again and later awakens at her home to discover her ex-fiancé Brian in severe anaphylactic shock in her bathroom. He's been exposed to sesame oil, a substance to which he has a life-threatening allergy. Jenn is utterly baffled. She has no recollection of preparing any food with sesame or anything that happened after the mysterious phone call. The only logical conclusion she can draw is a terrifying one. Her memory loss and Brian's near-fatal allergic reaction must be connected to her hypnosis sessions with Dr. Mead. Driven by a growing sense of dread and suspicion, Jenn confides in Detective Wade Rollins, who initially dismisses her claims. However, as Jenn persists and provides more details, Rollins begins to investigate Dr. Mead. What they uncover is a chilling pattern. Dr. Mead has a history of patients who, after undergoing his hypnotic therapy, have either died under mysterious circumstances or suffered severe, inexplicable incidents. The film opens with one such tragic event where a woman named Andrea, seemingly suffering from claustrophobia, experiences a terrifying hallucination of elevator walls closing in on her, leading to her death from cardiac arrest, an event that, in retrospect, appears to be a direct result of Mead's sinister influence. As Jenn and Rollins dig deeper, the extent of Dr. Mead's manipulation becomes horrifically clear. He isn't just a therapist. He's a master manipulator who uses powerful post-hypnotic suggestions to control his victims. He identifies their deepest fears and uses trigger phrases to unleash them, making their phobias feel intensely real and often leading to their demise. For instance, he used tea